Back when we were kids, my best friend and I would spend every weekend together. He didn't have a console or a PC at home, so he would always call me up and ask if he can come over and play. We grew up together, almost like brothers, sharing a spot on a couch and a controller in our hands. His dad passed away a year before we started hanging out, and his mom was rarely at home, so my place was his second home. Our weekends followed a ritual. He would call me up on Friday after school and I hear his excited voice asking if he can come over. And of course I would say yes, because I was happy that he was at my place also. We had only 3 games back then: Mortal Kombat 3, Psychic Force and Tomb Raider 1. 2 of them were fighting games. Out of all of them, Tomb Raider 1 was the game that we bonded over the most. This game for us was special, because this game was at a time when we were the happiest. We spent hours trying to solve puzzles, navigate tricky jumps and battle fierce enemies. Our sessions were filled with laughter, frustration and triumphs. We took turns playing, passing the controller every 30 minutes, or if you die to an enemy or a tricky jump early, we would call that one life game. It was a rule we made up to ensure that we both had equal time to play. We would often encourage one another, making the gaming session feel like real life adventure we were taking part of. I remember one particular weekend when we made it to the Lost Valley level. We were both on the edge of our seats as we encountered dinosaurs. Because at that time we did not have any memory cards, so every time we booted up our PlayStation we needed to go through all the levels again and again, and this time was the farthest we have gone. Our hearts raced as we tried to dodge the attacks and figured out the best strategies to take them down. I still remember this level being felt as a horror game, because we knew that we had limited time before we needed to do that all over again. We were so engrossed that we lost track of time, and before we knew it, it was dark outside. My mom had to practically drag us away from the game for dinner. We talked about our progress all throughout the meal, eager to get back to it. That time we spent the night on the floor. We passed out in the middle of the game. The console was still on and the discs were still spinning. We weren't just playing a game, we were sharing experience and creating memories. Even though we never managed to finish Tomb Raider 1 because we did not have the memory card to do so, but it always was the game that brought us together. In Tomb Raider 1 you play as Lara Croft, the adventurous archaeologist searching for a powerful artifact named Scion. The story starts with Lara meeting a woman named Jacqueline Natla, who hires her to find a piece of Scion in Peru. Lara travels to Peru and discovers ancient tombs and ruins filled with secrets and dangers. As Lara goes deeper into the tombs, she learns about Scion. It is a powerful artifact that was broken in 3 pieces and hidden around the world. Each piece is protected by puzzles and traps. Lara has to use her wits and skills to collect all of them. After recovering the Scion from Qualapec's tomb, Lara is ambushed by Larson, who reveals after his defeat that she is holding merely a piece of an artifact, and Natla has sent a rival treasure hunter, Pierre Dupont, to retrieve the other pieces. Breaking into Natla's office to find out Pierre's whereabouts, Lara discovers medieval monk diary and learns that the Scion is a powerful artifact composed of 3 pieces, which were divided between the 3 rulers of ancient continent of Atlantis, and one of those pieces were buried alongside the former Atlantean ruler Tihocan beneath the ancient monastery of St. Francis Folly in Greece. Navigating the monastery and following several firefights with Pierre, Lara locates the tomb of Tihocan, where she kills Pierre and recovers the second piece of Scion he has taken. From a mural on the wall, she learns that Tihokin unsuccessfully tried to resurrect Atlantis after a catastrophe struck the original continent. After combining both pieces of Zion, Lara is shown a vision that reveals the third and final piece of the Zion hidden in Egypt. After the third Atlantean ruler, Traitor, who used the artifact to create a breed of monsters, was captured and imprisoned by Tihokin and Qualapec. Making her way through Egypt to the lost city of Khamun, Lara kills Larson and recovers the third Zion piece. Emerging from the caves, Lara is ambushed by Natla and her 3 henchmen, who takes the Zion away from her. Lara escapes and stows away aboard Natla's yacht, which takes her to the volcanic island holding Atlantean pyramid filled with monsters. After dispatching Natla henchmen and making her way through the pyramid, Lara finds the Zion and sees the rest of the vision, revealing Natla to be the third Atlantean betrayer. Lara faces Natla, who reveals that she intends to use her army to push forward humanity's evolution, as she believes both Atlantean and its current civilization are too soft to withstand a disaster. Lara decides to destroy the Zion, and Natla attempts to stop her by sending her into the crevasse. After fighting a large legless monster, Lara shoots the Zion, setting a chain reaction that begins to destroy the pyramid. Lara kills winged Natla and escapes the exploding island. Playing this in the late 90s was like stepping into a whole new world of gaming, filled with excitement and action. Never before we played anything similar like Tomb Raider. It was like a movie that you control. To younger people, it should sound funny, but you must understand that we went from this to this in a span of few years. Playing Tomb Raider was like being a part of an action movie, with lots of twists and turns that keep you on an edge of your seat. Lara's Croft adventure is timeless, and Tomb Raider 1 remains the game that brings joy and excitement to those who played it back then. The initial concept of Tomb Raider was created by Toby Gard, who worked for Core Design, a game development studio based in Derby, England, that has established itself developing titles for home computers and Sega consoles. The game console was created before anything else, with the main hook being cinematic presentation and being a third-dimension character-driven experience. The team wanted to mix the adventure style of Ultima Underworld and 3D characters shown off in Virtual Fighter. The development began in 1994 and lasted 8 months. When Gard first presented the idea for the game, the concept featured a male lead who strongly resembled Indiana Jones. Heather Smith asked for a change for legal reasons. When Gard created initial design document, he decided to give a player a choice of a gender and created a female adventurer alongside the male character. Once he realized creating and animating 2 playable characters would require double the design work, he decided to slim back down to 1. Female character, originally named Laura Cruz, was his favorite, so he decided to discard the male character before development work began. Laura went through several changes before developers settled on a final version, including the name change to Lara Croft after Eidos executive in the United States objected the original name. The inspiration for the character of Lara Croft included the character of Tank Girl, the Indiana Jones series titular lead, and the John Woo film Hard Boiled. From the game's earlier stages, the team wanted the title to involve tombs and pyramids. In the earlier story draft, Lara would be confronted by the rival group called Chaos Riders. During the Grease levels, Lara and Pierre were to have been less hostile rivals, helping each other with puzzles in the first level. Larson evolved from African character called Lars Kruger, who share similar role and original plot. The platforming design drew extensively from Prince of Persia, with the doppelganger enemy during Atlantis section being a homage Shadow Prince from that game. The high number of animal enemies was meant to ground player in the world before more fantastical enemies appeared, in addition being easier to animate and program than human enemies. The staff were also uncomfortable with Lara killing that many humans. The initial concept gave combat prominence, but as production began, the focus shifted to platforming and puzzle solving. A plan that made into the final product was using enemies placement to shift the atmosphere from pure action adventure to horror-like tone. The team consciously set the story in real archaeological location representing several cultures. Boyd and Gibson immersed themselves in the literature and history about each culture for the first 3 areas, respectively inspired by Inca Empire, classical Greece and ancient Egypt. The Greece levels were put in after planned levels in Archon Wat, Cambodia were dropped. The Croft Manor training level was built by Guard over the weekend. Its design was based on a picture of Georgian mansion house taken from unspecified reference book. Third-person 3D action adventure like Tomb Raider was unprecedented at the time, and the development team took several months to find a way to make Guard's vision for the game work on the hardware of the time. The game engine was designed and built by Douglas with assistance from Rumery. Rumery created level editor which allowed for seamless creation of levels. According to Rumery, the decision to build the game levels on the grid was a key breakthrough in making the game possible. The level editor program was designed so the developers could make rapid adjustment to specific areas with ease. The interlinking room design was inspired by Egyptian multi-room tombs, particularly the tomb of Tutankhamun. Upon its release, Tomb Raider 1 received a critical acclaims for its innovative gameplay, impressive graphics and the character of Lara Croft. It quickly became the commercial success and selling millions of copies worldwide. The game's success led to numerous sequels and spin-offs, establishing Tomb Raider as one of the most successful and enduring franchises in gaming history. The gameplay is all about exploration, puzzle solving and combat. Each level is a new adventure with its own set of challenges. I remember the 90s commercials showing off the game, and I was amazed how many actions can Lara do and perform. You travel through ancient tombs, ruins and exotic locations. As you explore, you find hidden passages, secret rooms and treasures. The environments are large and filled with details, making you feel like a real adventurer. You can make Lara run, jump, climb and swim to get through various obstacles. The most impressive thing was that Lara can push a huge block 2 times her size. In other games her abilities has been expanded to make her even more agile. One of the main parts of the game is solving puzzles. These puzzles can be tricky and require you to think carefully. Some puzzles involve moving blocks or reaching higher places, while others might need you to find a key and activate switches. Solving these puzzles gives you a sense of accomplishment and makes the game more interesting. Remember when I was stuck at Midas place and I couldn't figure out what to do there. Lara faced many enemies throughout her journey. These include wild animals like wolves, bears, and even dinosaurs. There are also human enemies, such as mercenaries and other treasure hunters, but only few of the human enemies. It is because the developers didn't like Lara killing a lot of people, at least in the first game. Lara used variety of weapons to defend herself, including her famous dual pistols, shotguns and even more. Some of the pistols can be found early in the game in secret areas, while others can be obtained from defeating a human enemy. Getting around in Tomb Raider 1 requires a good platforming skills. You have to make precise jumps, climb ledges and avoid traps. The controls can be tricky, especially for those who are not used to early 3D games. It is really primitive system, maybe that's why it's called tank control. Each move needs to be timed right, and sometimes you have to figure out the right path to take. The game also includes collecting items like health packs and ammunition. These items are essential for surviving tough parts of the game. You need to be strategic about when to use them as they are limited. But as I played this game a lot of times, I never ran out of ammunition nor health packs. The save system in Tomb Raider 1 is also worth mentioning. You need to find specific save points to record your progress. This means you can't just save anywhere, which adds tension and makes you think careful about your actions. Every decision feels important because mistakes can be costly. Each element is well crafted and contributes to overall experience. The game keeps you engaged with its various challenges. It's an adventure that requires both skill and thought, making it a timeless classic. Tomb Raider 1 was released on PS1, and for its time the graphics were quite impressive. The game used 3D environments that were groundbreaking when it first came out. While the PC version of the game had better graphics, the PS1 version still held up well considering hardware limitation of the console. The tombs, ruins and other locations you explore are filled with textures and give each area a unique look. Despite the lower resolution and polygon count compared to modern games, the design work shine through. The levels are carefully crafted to make you feel like you're really exploring ancient forgotten places. Lara Croft, the main character, considering the limitation, is well designed for PS1 game. Her model is quite blocky by today's standards, but back then it was a big deal. The animation, while sometimes a bit stiff, do a good job showing her movements, whether she's climbing, jumping or shooting. The game textures are another area that PlayStation 1 show its age. Even with the limited power of PS1, the textures are used effectively to build a believable, engaging world. One of the standout features of the game graphics is its sense of scale. The levels often have large open areas that makes you feel small in comparison. This is particularly impressive given the PS1's hardware constraints. You might find yourself in a massive cavern or vast temple hall, and the sense of size adds to adventure. While the graphics of Tomb Raider 1 on PS1 are not so advanced as the PC version or the modern games, they still do an excellent job to creating an engaging atmosphere. Playing Tomb Raider 1 on PS1 is a reminder how far games have come, but also innovative and exciting they were even with limited technology. Reflecting on those weekends spent with my best friend, huddled around PS1, I realized how much this game shaped our childhood. Tomb Raider wasn't just a game, it was an adventure. We embarked on it together, creating memories that still brings a smile to my face. The challenge we faced, the puzzles we solved, and the epic moments we shared are etched into my heart. Tomb Raider 1 will always be more than just a game. It's a treasured piece of our shared history, a symbol of friendship and a reminder of joy and excitement that comes from exploring the unknown. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed my Tomb Raider 1 review. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you.